Alright guys, today starting with a Daikin mini split, a subject we all have a lot of questions about. Main thing is going to be maintenance. So we want to make sure that we're getting the proper maintenance in on our equipment, which means cleaning the evaporator coil and making sure that that fan wheel is clean. I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen the underside of this equipment, how dirty, how filthy it gets. Some of us get some black chunks blowing out from time to time. All that is a mildew on the backside. We're not keeping these filters clean. We're not keeping this coil clean. So we want to make sure at least every 6 months get these things cleaned out. So today we're going to go through a quick cleaning of, a quick run of how to get the coil moved partially to get this blower wheel out and clean it. All right, so we got our first 3 screws. There we go. All right. Front cover off, set that out of the way. So real basic from here, we have 3 screws on this side over here. 1, 2, and 3. All right, there's our 3 screws. Guys, this whole coil assembly already moves, okay? We don't have quite enough play, so we're going to come over here to the opposite side of the coil. All right, so we have our 3 screws out of our left side of the air handler. We have 1 screw pulled out on our right side where it attaches to the plastic, just in case it has some extra torque from us pulling on it. Don't want to break the plastic. So what we're going to do now is we're going to attack this bushing right here on this left side and remove that. Sometimes they get a little sticky. I'm going to pop a screwdriver in there. There we go. So this is going to be our bushing on the end of the fan wheel. Set this to the side. And we're going to lift our coil only as much as we need. We're going to pull on the fan wheel and easily slide it out. This fan wheel and coil isn't as dirty as expected, but since we got it out, we'll go ahead and clean it anyway. I'll get this cleaned. We'll check the back side of the coil, and I'll get the camera in there, show you guys what we can reach, what we can do, where the buildup normally takes place, and then we'll put it back together. Back with our clean fan wheel. We're going to set this down. Make sure we have little balancing clips on this fan wheel. Make sure we don't knock those off so the fan wheel's not out of balance once we put it back on. What I'm going to do is we're going to shine a light in here and let y'all see with the camera where we normally get our buildup. In here, guys, we have the back side of the coil, and this is where we normally get the buildup. Like I said, this one isn't as dirty as expected, but we can reach our arm in here, spray some cleaner on it, reach our arm in here, and we can get the crud, for lack of better terms, off the back of this. Also, guys, if you look down at the end of the camera, you'll see where that fan wheel attaches back. So when we put it back in, we have to line it up, get the bushing on that end of the blower wheel. All right, so putting our blower wheel back in, same way it came out. If you look at the end, pretty hard to get it mixed up, okay? This end goes to your right side. So we're gonna slide this back in. Here comes the hard part. Let's line it up and set it. All right, we're gonna grab our bushing. That one took a second to line up. Grab our bushing, set it back in place. All right, drop the coil back down on our bushing. We're going to put our screws back in place. If you are using a drill for these plastic back screws, make sure not to torque down on them too tight. Right, this is always the tricky one. There we go. All right, we have our coil back together. All we got to do now is put on the top. So let's make this easy. Take this fan blade out, deflector. There we go. Put the deflector back in. All right. 3 more screws and we're done. There we go, back together. Guys, I know some of y'all are gonna have a fit for me using a drill on this, but it's not the first time. Should probably clean this up if it's a customer's. A few simple minutes and we got this thing pulled apart, blower wheel cleaned, coil checked out, the back side of the coil at least. If we had to clean it, great. Grab a brush, grab some cleaner, spray it down. Make sure we are using the cleaner specifically for ductless equipment set aside in the branches. What that does is it does not deteriorate the metal or the film, sorry, on the metal for these ductless air handlers. So make sure we're using the right equipment. Make sure we know what we're doing, working efficiently, getting this equipment pulled apart, back together, serviced efficiently.